Hey guys, Liam here, and today we're going to talk about Madrid. Now, sorry it's a little late because we had to recuperate from a 6 a.m. Ryanair flight, so about 8 hours in an airport, and yesterday was Brian's 21st, so
yeah,
it's kind of getting everything together, and we're finally putting the blog up. But anyway, Madrid was interesting. It was a lot more different than Barcelona. It wasn't as architecturally sound, but it was a huge city. It was just amazing. But anyway, when we first got there, we were starving, so we had to go find something to eat. We started walking through this area and noticed there was all this fog billowing up. And we're like, oh, you know, it just must be really foggy here. And we walk around the corner, I'm like, that smells like burnt something. And we kept walking around the corner, and there's this, they recycle big time here, so they have these giant recycle bins, and these recycle bins were just burst into flame, just like black smoke coming out of it, and we looked over it, and there's these riot police with their shield, says riot in Spanish across, I'm assuming it says riot, Spanish across their uniforms, and they have these shotguns with the bean bags in them and everything, and we're thinking, oh my god, this is unreal. There are all these little kids around. I think what really happened is there were all these little girls, and they tried to sell Girl Scout cookies to, you know, the president, and he said no, and so they rioted. But anyway, after all that cooled down, the king.
They have a king.
They have a king. Sorry, not a dictator. Like
I paid attention on the tour.
My bad.
Liam was.
Yeah. Anyway, we ran into this hole in the wall place that looked kind of upper scale, and we walked in there and sat down for a bite to eat and couldn't read the menu, and they said, mixed tapas? Mixed tapas? And they kept saying that, and we're like, fine, we'll have mixed tapas, and it was phenomenal, just the most amazing meal. We had octopus and these potato things and ham and cheese. Spain's famous for its ham, and then the seafood platter with lox and halibut and blue cheese and sardines, and just this amazing spread. And we asked for red wine, we didn't ask for the house wine, so they gave us a nice wine, and I could tell the second I tasted it, I'm like, this isn't house wine. But anyway, it was totally worth it. The meal was a little expensive, but definitely the best meal I've had since we've been here. And that's how we started our trip in Madrid. We knew it was going to be pretty good.
So, the next day, we got there Thursday night. Next day, it kind of rained a little bit, so we didn't go on the tour like we had planned. So we kind of pushed that back to Saturday. So Friday, we went to an art museum. The El Prado is right there. It's famous. It's got a lot of different paintings in there. So we walked around that for a couple hours, and just kind of walked around the city. Didn't really have that much to do. Saturday, we got up and went on the tour, which was very, very informative. It didn't start out the best way though. We were supposed to meet up with another hostel, and we're supposed to meet up with another hostel and get our tour guide and just all go as a group. So we got to the other hostel, and they had a bar inside. So one of the guys went in and was like, all right, well, where's the tour guide? And they just kind of pointed in the bar and was like, oh, all right. So then this German chick comes out, and she's still drunk from the night before. Like, she had like a 2-liter water bottle trying to get over her hangover. So we start walking, and she's really slow. It's like, all right, this is going to be an awful tour. So we get to the first site, and it's the Plaza Mayor. It's a big square in Madrid. It's where it's centrally located. It's really important. And there's this big statue of a guy on a horse in there, and she kind of looks at it and looks at us and says, all right, there's a statue. Y'all can take pictures. That was the beginning. All right, well, this chick's kind of annoying. All right, so then we walked to we were headed to the next stop, and we stumbled into this other group that had an English-speaking tour guide. And he was nuts. Like, he was really enthusiastic, and he was talking about everything. He was talking a mile a minute. So we just kind of went with him and pretty much ditched the other girl. And she followed along on the tour, actually. But so we did that and toured the entire city. It was great. It lasted a couple hours. What else? What was important? We saw the Royal Palace. It's where we ended. Opera House, Plaza Mayor. Lots of different things. What?
Museum de Jambon.
Oh, the ham museum. Museum de Jambon. It was very good. They have ham in there that takes like 18 months to completely cure. So they just have all these pig legs laying on the walls, covered in salt. It was kind of weird, but it was delicious.
It was like a dream.
It was cheap. It was great. And then after after that, there's an Egyptian temple right next to the Royal Palace, and they kind of dropped us at the Royal Palace. Oh, the other good thing was he told us the history of everything, and like all of the kings, Carlos and Felipe and all of those kings. So he told us that, and then as we were going through the tour, he would tell which king did which and what it was built for. But he drops at the Royal Palace, and then we saw the Egyptian temple, Temple of Dabad is what it was called. And it was just kind of cool. It's the only Egyptian temple not in Egypt, so that was kind of neat. And then we went to the bullfighting arena. Kind of looked like a mini coliseum. We went over there because we wanted to do a bullfight, but it wasn't summer, so we were out of luck. But yeah, that was a long part of the day.
And also on the tour, the Madrid symbol is a bear leaning up against a strawberry tree. And during the day, this symbol is all over Madrid. And throughout the day, he would have a competition with all the people on the tour. There's about 30 people on the tour. And whoever saw the most, I guess, got complimented afterwards. I don't know. But anyway, so I had a competition going with him. And I mean, he's done the tour hundreds of times. And
we were going at it.
Yeah, we were going at it. We actually, I think I ended up with like 14 or 15 bear and strawberry trees that I had found. That I found most of them, but Brian...
Whoa, I contributed.
Yeah, you contributed, but I feel like most is a majority, and I had at least
Okay,
7 or 8
so I was about to say 7.
7 or 8 myself.
And I threw in a couple.
13 or 14.
Okay, 7 out of 13, that's majority.
Which
you
is
can have
majority.
that.
Yeah, okay.
Right.
Thank you, Brian. So yeah, anyway, and he found probably like 20. But anyway, he has done the tour hundreds of times before. But anyway, after that, like you said, we went to the to Egyptian ruins and the bullfighting arena, and after that we met back with the tour guide for a tapas tour. Which a tapas tour, like, he just took us to about 4 different bars, and we all had tapas at different bars, which these were actually like Spanish tapas that we had, like olives and really good olives, cheese and sausages and crab. It was really great. And then I tried bull's tail. Which
Yeah, Parker got a little frisky.
Yeah, that was interesting. It tasted great though. It tasted like beef, but
It
had chocolate in it, but I did not taste any chocolate whatsoever. And we did the tour with some Germans and Australians, but when I was sitting with the Germans at one table and I was telling them what I was doing for the semester and what we were going to do in the next week. I was like, all right, we're going to Paris next weekend. We're going to Dublin the weekend after that, and then the weekend after that, we're going to Krakow, Poland, to see Auschwitz. And it got really quiet. Like, awkward quiet. They weren't that talkative to begin with, and then all of a sudden, they just did not say a word. And then they kind of looked at each other, and then didn't look at me for at least 10 minutes. But anyway, not a big deal. After the tapas tour, which lasted about 4 hours, I mean, it was fun. After that, we went back to the hostel to grab our stuff, and we went and saw a few more buildings on the near El Prado, and on our way to the metro stop, we saw we got some good pictures from it too, and we got to we left to go to the airport around 10 or 11, and got there at 12, and they wouldn't let us through security, so we kind of just waited around and got tired enough to where we could actually fall asleep in chairs, and I fell asleep at about 2:15 and woke up about 4 o'clock, and then got my pass checked off, and we went through security. Then we fell asleep and passed out in the terminal
for a while, till about 6.
I was the last person in from the group, and I walk in and our entire group is like literally laying on the floor. Nobody was sitting up. Everybody's laying on the floor in front of the door. Like, it was hilarious. But anyway, I ended up falling asleep for another hour or two in one of the chairs. And luckily, I think everybody was at the front of the line. I woke up and jumped in line soon enough. And then our plane took off at, what, 6 or 6:30? 6:30?
6:30.
Yeah. Plane took off at 6:30. I do not remember taking off or landing. I don't remember either of those. I remember waking up at one point and looking out the window because the clouds looked cool, and then I went back to sleep and literally did not wake up again until the plane had stopped. So that was something else. And then we ended up jumping on the train. They have it timed to where the bus comes at 10 after the hour, and then the train it takes about 25 minutes to get to the train station. The train leaves at 40 minutes after the hour. So you have just a little bit of leeway there to jump on the train. And I kind of napped on the train a little bit, and then we got home and I took another quick nap. And we've been studying this week. We hadn't had any tests. I think we have an accounting test.
We studied this week. We have an accounting test
next week, and probably a marketing test next Thursday.
Been reading some econ.
Yeah, and then we've been reading some econ. So, but I probably should have done more econ reading, but I haven't. But yeah, that was our trip to Madrid, and I think that's all for now.
That's all for now.
All right.
Other than today was signing day.
Yeah.
Tony Stewart.
I think we'll have another video.
We have a
for that.
huge class.
I think we'll have another video for that. That will also entail some stories from Brian's birthday.
Ooh.
So talk to you
Look forward
next
to that.
time.
Bye.
Adios.